Welcome to Cooking with Andy. I've not done a YouTube video in a while, so I thought I'd make a quick video of some cooking, especially since this is a very healthy meal. We've not been shopping for a while, so this is all the leftover stuff that we're using up to make a lentil curry. And it's a very orange meal at the moment, but that's just what we had. We had half a squash, a sweet potato, a carrot, some garlic and some ginger, and I've left the carrot uncut there so I can throw some cheeky knife skills into the video. I'm cutting everything pretty small because at the end of this I don't mind if it all kind of melts down. I don't really need a lot of texture.
Who taught you to cut like that?
Just watching a lot of shows, and I did think about watch your fingers when you're cutting and make sure you use a sharp knife. Most people get injured with knives because the knife wasn't sharp enough.
And where did you get your knife? Because this is an awesome knife.
This is a nice knife. This came from Lee Valley. It's called a what's it called again?
I honestly can't remember. But we ended up having to get two because we were gifted one by my uncle, and then we would fight over who could use it. So this is what it looks like. You can see that one of the dogs had a little chew.
To get your garlic out of its shell, just give it a bit of a crush, and then it should just pop right out. Piece of ginger, another garlic clove. Can't have too much garlic in a meal. Oh, we also had a little bit of leftover tomato sauce. This was from a tin of tomatoes that we used to make a chili a few days ago, and we had a little sauce left. So we'll throw that in there as well. So we got that pan.
Ooh.
A little bit of oil.
What kind of oil are you using?
We've got avocado oil at the moment, but I also like using olive oil. Just stay away from those vegetable oils and stuff like that. Those, cheap oil's not good. Get yourself some expensive oil. Well, not expensive, but a good quality oil, because it makes a big difference in your health. So this doesn't really matter, actually.
Did you want to chop the garlic and the...
I'm going to throw a few cumin seeds in to start this thing off. We got some cumin seeds. Then we're in with all of our veg. Squash, sweet potato, and carrot. This is probably how you turn into an ompalumpa. Turn that down a little bit. I want to cook that down a little bit and soften it up before I add the lentils. So, got some garlic and some ginger. If I had an onion, I'd probably throw an onion in there too, but we don't have an onion. Like I said, we're just using up all of our leftovers.
And a really simple way to peel your ginger is to use a spoon. You end up using all of it instead of getting rid of it with a peeler. Fancy chopping skills.
I'm not going to add this just yet because garlic can burn quite easily. So I'm going to wait till just before we put Yeah, it's a very orange meal. Even our lentils are orange.
And we soak them before to begin the digestion process and make these more bioavailable and absorbed when we're eating them. It's really important to soak your legumes and lentils. It helps to break them down so it's easier to digest.
Yeah, wash all of your vegetables.
Yeah.
When that stuff gets stored in warehouses, little bits of dust and things like that can build up on it. Same with cans. Just give it a quick rinse off.
You can also use apple cider vinegar to help remove any debris, pesticides, buildup.
We also got some brown rice going with this meal.
Which we also soaked as well.
Well, the instructions on the back of the package, but you follow the instructions and you just can't go too
What spices are you going to use?
We've got a few different spices. When it comes to spices, the more experience you get with cooking with spices, the more you know how much you can add. But to start with, just add a little bit at a time. Try your meal, and then over time you'll gain a bit more experience. Or look up a recipe and get a general rule of thumb of, well, we're saying 2 tablespoons of this, or a teaspoon of this, a teaspoon of that. You know that you got to keep your quantities to kind of that 2-3 teaspoon. I was thinking about putting all the ingredients in separate little containers like they do on the fancy YouTube shows, and I thought there's
in your little ramekin?
not a chance that I'm washing that up afterwards.
Yeah.
That's starting to soften up a little bit, so I'm going to throw in the garlic and the ginger. Cook that for about a minute or so.
So where did you learn to cook?
Learn to cook out of necessity. If you want to eat good food, learn how to cook. And it's, you know, it's good for your health, but first and foremost you get to eat good meals. Relying on other people for cooking, you're not going to get too far. You know, you're going to get stuck. Just benefits you. You can eat whatever kind of food you want. You just got to get in the kitchen and start doing it. Seems to me that eating food and drinking water are 2 of the essential things in life that keep us alive. So learning how to do it, it's kind of a no-brainer. But I know a lot of people are reliant on fast food and things like that. And you know, cooking doesn't have to be difficult. It can be easy. We've just got few loose ingredients that we had around the house, and we're going to make up a curry that'll probably last us for a few days.
And it will be nutrient dense and really yummy.
So I'll throw some spices in.
Okay, what are we going with?
We're going to go with some turmeric.
Yep.
A little cumin. We're using about a teaspoon of each. We're going to go for a little chili powder, half a teaspoon. Then a teaspoon of curry powder, and a little bit, about half a teaspoon coriander powder, a little bit of pepper.
Activate the cumin, or not cumin, turmeric.
A little bit of salt. Pink Himalayan. Don't be using that cheap table salt. You'll be up 3-4 times in the night trying to hydrate yourself.
Fortunately, it's hard to see with the steam.
I'll throw a little water in there just to get so it doesn't stick at the bottom of the pan.
Oh, we might have a sous chef. Hello, Forrest.
A lot of people like to taste the food, but I base a lot of things on what it smells like. I like smelling the food. Sense of smell is an important. That's the first thing that's going to let you know if not to eat something is what it smells like. But also lets you know what to eat, and that smells pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go in with our tomatoes. This is just regular tomato sauce.
Smells good.
Spatula, because we don't want to waste any. I've not cooked too much with lentils before, so this is a little bit of an experiment with cooking times and things. But how do lentils usually take?
I don't know, because those have been pre-soaked, so they'll be probably less time. No more than 40 minutes. Maybe 20, because those are pretty fast cooking, actually.
A touch of water. I will make some chapatis with this. We got a pretty good chapati recipe. It's super simple. Pretty much just water and flour and a touch of honey. I'm gonna put a touch of honey in this. I'm gonna put a little bit of honey just to break the acidity of the tomatoes. Just a little bit, about a teaspoon. I'm gonna wipe out. I'm gonna let this cook for a minute first. So we'll come back, so you don't stand around and watch us standing in our kitchen for 5 minutes looking at a pot. We'll come back in 5 minutes and throw the lentils in, get it cooking.
Okay, so we're making homemade, I guess, like chapatis, flatbread, whatever you want to call them. And I don't really follow recipes, so it kind of goes with whatever I'm feeling. So right now I'm using this organic stone ground light multi-purpose flour that is from a local BC company, which is great. It's organic. So we'll put that in this bowl. Roughly a cup, maybe we'll do 2, because Andy really likes these. And hopefully I have some water. So I'm gonna get some water. We have our Berkey here, which is the best filtered water you can get. It's worth the investment, because your local tap water is filled with pharmaceuticals and chemicals and chlorine and all this shit that is really not good for your body. So getting a Berkey water filter, highly recommend. So I'm gonna pour the water in. This is about a cup, we'll see. And I'll start with the spoon, just to get it going. And this is my wooden witch's spoon that's also been eaten by one of the dogs. So a little bit of honey.
Oh, that was crazy noise. Excuse you.
And it looks like this is pretty wet. So I'm gonna add, on the microphone.
Yeah,
A little bit more flour.
for future reference, you just want to add a little bit of water at a time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can always add more water, but you can't take it out. So now we're going to end up with, well, we'll get chapatis for days, I suppose. You can freeze these as well.
Yeah. That's still pretty wet. But that's cooking with Rebecca. She doesn't follow recipes.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Is that my sous chef?
What are you doing?
Licking.
Why are you licking the side of the thing?
This will probably be good. Okay.
Probably won't fly in a commercial kitchen having dogs walking around, but
Can't help it with these two.
no.
And this is a fun way to play. Ooh, yes, very sticky. Relieve stress. Because kneading is really quite, oh yeah, man. Ratios, Andy was right with the water. You definitely want
Our curry's
to.
just bubbling away. We've not added the lentils yet. So we're going to hold a pause right now so we can get this dough right, and we'll come back when we're rolling it out.
Yep.
Okay, see you in a few. Welcome back to Cooking with Andy and Rebecca. We're going to add a few red chili flakes to add a little bit of heat to our curry. Just if you don't want it too spicy. You can always make it spicier at the end, but can't take that spice out. Got our lentils. How many cups is that?
2 of the goblets, so
Probably
about
about-
2 cups.
About 2 cups.
Maybe a bit more.
And
It smells good.
mix that up. And then we'll just top that up with water. A tin of coconut milk would be good, but we don't have any coconut milk. Because I've not cooked with lentils before, I'm gonna guesstimate the amount of water compared to rice, which is usually about a thumbnail down from where the rice is to the water in any size pot. It's usually a thumbnail. So I'm going to use that same technique for these lentils. Maybe a little more. I don't mind if it's a little bit loose.
Loose.
A loose curry. Sloppy. Well, loose sounds better than sloppy.
Or you could say like soupy.
Soupy. Soupy. Not loose. Andy's loosey goose curry. That's what it's going to be called. With only orange ingredients.
And what happened here? Did we salvage it?
So we had to add about 5 more cups of flour because so much water went into it in the beginning. So definitely add little bits of water at a time as you're mixing it. Otherwise, you're going to probably use. I mean, that's a full loaf
Yeah,
right
but
there.
you're gonna freeze them.
We're going to freeze them. Probably eat them as well. They're really good. So we're going to come back. We're going to bring this up to a boil.
So we're making our flatbreads, whatever you want to call them. The dough is a little bit risen. I just make a little ball in the size of my hand and then kind of try and make it into a little bit of a circular shape. It's important to have, oh, the cups. Important to have flour on your surface and the rolling pin so that things don't stick. Oh, babies. But that's it. You just roll them out into a shape. This,
A round shape.
Try to.
Match the shape of the pan, hopefully.
We do our best. This might be looking more like a country. And then you just take it, pop it here, and you're ready to go.
And then to cook them, we're going to use the cast iron pan. I'm going to try and do this while simultaneously filming, multitasking. So just put a little bit of oil in, move that around a little bit, and then drop it away from you, the opposite of that, so that the oil splashes away and it doesn't splash onto you.
Yep, that's why Andy usually does this and I don't. I'm the and you'll start to see that it'll like bubble up as it cooks, perhaps.
They don't take too long to cook. And this is the curry.
Ooh.
We put the lentils in, we've just been cooking that. Give it a little bit of a stir so you can see it. Got our rice already done. And we'll probably get quite a few of these chapati breads. So the key is to just keep an eye on it. You can see there's a few little bubbles that have started rising up. And the dog ate our tongs for flipping, so I now just use this fork for flipping.
What else have we lost because of a dog eating?
Pretty much everything. I mean, the ends of everything has been chewed.
Yeah, that was River.
So yeah, we'll cook these up. This one's probably ready for turning. Flip it over. These are best served with a little bit of butter. Just get a little bit of butter and rub it over top of them once they're done and stack them up. So we'll come back when we've cooked a few of them so you don't have to watch us cook them all.
You could even rub them with a little bit of garlic too.
Was this you? I'm denying that. Must have been the other one. Forrest, come here. Is this you? Oh, I think we got a winner there. Well, we know which one it was.
Can you sit?
Yeah, we'll be right back when we've made these chapatis and we've cooked them up. This one's probably done. Say a couple more minutes, maybe a minute, and we'll be back. Okay. So this is our finished meal, our easy lentil curry. But before we eat any meal, we like to show some gratitude for our food and bless our food. So we'll bless this food, and today is the 11th of November, 11/11. So we remember all the people that have fought in any war throughout human history, which is a lot, and that's something that we should always remember so that we don't do that in the future. And we just use basic ingredients that we had left over around our kitchen, but to some people in the world, the ingredients that we had would be a luxury. So we're very grateful for that. We hope this food nourishes us, and that anybody around the world who doesn't have food or shelter, we hope that they can find a warm meal and shelter, and we wish that for everybody. So thanks for watching our video, and stay tuned because there might be some more cooking with Andy.